The last position to win that, and I think he's won it comfortably enough. Hopefully that's just the start, and who says 13 is an unlucky number?
Congratulations to retirement Beckins, always so slow to go out the back, but Ben Robinson's given him a beautiful ride. Just missing out by a nose at Ayr last time out, and at 4-1 wins today. French Flyers second, 22-1, and Mr. Cool Cash was third at 20-1. 13 round there in the Racing TV Profits return to racing handicap. Division 1, Division 2 will be their last race on an 8-race card, and 1:47 and 93 the winning time. Leicester next, and the Cube Exhibition Centre handicap of 450. Thought this looked like quite a competitive race for the grade. It is a Class 6 and a mile and a half, with Suckyhall Street 9-2 the favourite. Jetstream at 5-1. And 11-2 money for Affluence, who was one of two last time out winners, Becky Sharp the other. Your thoughts initially?
Yeah, competitive race, and the money horse really was Jetstream, was I think 12-1 overnight, something like that, into 5-1, formerly with Kerry Lee, now with New Connections, and wasn't disgraced on debut for New Connections either, with a tidy effort at Doncaster. Slow start, pitched on landing coming out the stalls, but still ran an encouraging race to finish fifth in what looked a quite competitive race beforehand. So that was a nice performance, and took the step up in trip and stride really. So a mile and a half round here should be ideal, and should get a good toe into the race from Becky Sharp, who you would think would be one of the pace angles here after the way that she led them all the merry dance at 25-1. Last time. Yeah,
it was a little while coming, wasn't it? Her 13th start, and she did get the head in front over a mile and a half. The worry I would have with her, although we're talking Class 6, whether she can kind of string two good runs together. To be fair, she wasn't beaten very far at Lingfield, but she never really looked like she was going to win that day, and then go back to Brighton in May, and she was well away from the leaders. So look, well done to Jim Boyle last time. It'd be great if she could go on, but I'd be inclined to maybe pass her over this time.
Yeah, maybe. She's held a place in the market, which is perhaps encouraging. And Jetstream, the money seems to have continued to stack up for his chance as well. So those two would be my idea of where the winner might come from, but it was a bit of a no-bet race for me, I've got to be honest. Sauchiehall Street was another one that attracted support. But he's a difficult horse to win with. I seem to tip him pretty much throughout the entire all-weather season without much fortune.
That's not too bad, because he's won 4 times on the all-weather.
Yeah.
As long as you're not tipping him on the grass, because he's yet to score on the turf.
No, I think I got him right once at Wolverhampton, and probably about 18 times elsewhere where he hasn't managed to prevail. But he's nicely drawn. Obviously, Adam Kirby and eye-catching booking, and the headgear on for the first time might just help a little bit, as well as a drop back in trip.
Yeah, that's definitely worth taking into consideration. And I think as well the fact that that was his first run for a while, wasn't it? He ran at Windsor in April and then went to Lingfield.
He'd had a couple of starts over hurdles, but you're right, he hadn't run since late May, so he'd had 6 or 7 weeks off. The 2 miles at Lingfield looked a little bit of just an exploration really, just to see whether they could eke out a bit of improvement from him over an extended trip. But
yeah, why not? I mean, he clearly stays on the flat with what we've seen so far. They've got the cheap pieces on today, so Suckyhall Street definitely fancied as well. Now, we mentioned Jetstream just drifting out to 11-2. Mistress Nelly, what about this filly? Because you couldn't begrudge her of a win the way she's been running?
No, excellent connections. William Stone does really well with his small team. They've got a horse that's very well backed in the last as well, the Evening Attire. She's certainly had a few chances, hasn't she? But she's very versatile in ways of trip and ground, etc. She's a modest ability. She's only 48 rated, but there's another solid effort again last time. She just lacks a bit of a finishing kick, and if it is going to be a tactically run race from stall 11, she's going to have a bit to do.
Yeah, she is. I always look at horses. I think she's definitely game and genuine. She's just had 19 tries now and yet to get the head. There she is. She's really flashy as well. But who knows? Maybe she'll be able to get involved. She's definitely got some consistent form. And the final couple that we haven't touched on, we've got Affluence, obviously, from Martin Smith, the Yarmouth winner.
Yeah, another excellent stable, really. They haven't got a huge team of horses, but do very well with what they have under both codes. Was nicely backed, I think, at Yarmouth last time over the mile and a quarter, dropped back in trip that day and seemed to really relish it. Back up to a mile and a half here. Quite whether he'll be quite so effective at that trip is open to question, but you know, he's had a couple of little starts, well, certainly one start at Huntingdon over hurdles and didn't run too badly, so the signs are there that the mile and a half should be within his compass, really, certainly on this ground.
Albert Boy's been fairly well fancied for Scott Dixon, running in Class 5 last time out at Doncaster over this trip and was well beaten, to be fair. 3rd of 6 at Ripon in June on very soft ground and no real great shakes that day, but he is a winner. He scored 4 times, getting on, but if he puts his best in, he's got a good chance, I think.
Yeah, he was sort of 7 or 8 to 1 and you could sort of see the case for him last night when I was looking at the race, and then all morning he was completely friendless out to twice that price, and interest in the market's just come back for him a little bit. Got some good form around here, ran well behind Broad Appeal when Kieran Schofield rode him sort of back at the end of May, and Broad Appeal was very well back that day and had come into the race in decent form himself, so that was a pretty good effort. Now if he could recapture that sort of level of form and that apprentice handicap and bring it into this race, then you could certainly see him being on the premises.
Indeed, like so many of these, just been a little bit naughty as Sucky Hole Street down at the start, just kicking out and getting a little bit warm as well. I want to talk about SPG because last time out things just went really badly wrong. Firstly from the stalls, slow to go and denied a clear run at Epsom. Definitely stays this trip, as we saw in Brighton back in May. He's no slouch in this grade, I think.
No, I think he's sort of on the figures. His second best run came at Leicester last June over a mile and a half here on fast ground. He was well beaten that day, but it was under Derek Keenan, and I think both of his best efforts have come under this rider, so that's something you can sort of hang your hat on if you fancy him a little bit. He was fairly solid in the market as well, sort of overnight till lunchtime, so that's another encouragement.
Killarney right after this, folks. Here's Tim Peters.
Has now gone in the widest draw of all. Thereof, Principe, though, completely blew the start. And also another one that was really slow to stride out. Looked like 3 diamond rings in this Cube Exhibition Centre handicap. Principe has actually planted herself out of the stalls. So heading through the first furlong, Becky Sharp, who broke well here last time, showing plenty of speed, with also Albert Boy. These two then dispute the lead early on. We've also tucked in behind Mistress Nelly, who's in 3rd place. Jetstream. Socky Hall Street is another one who is fairly handy. Just bustled along by the rails is SPG, who's in about midfield. Little Choosy running widest of all in the green jacket with the stars is Affluence, who's held up towards the back of this group. Also towards the inside is Mellaby, the purple sleeves. Two-tone blue of Kennington Green, and the black stripes as well is right there towards the back, and making up for that very slow start. 3 diamond rings has at least caught them up as they now begin to head away from the back straight, beginning to climb as they do so. So Becky Sharp, who made all here the last time out, has got to the front again today. She leads up by a length to in 2nd place. We've got Albert Boy, then in behind in 3rd position. We have Socky Hall Street, who's certainly close enough. 4 times an all-weather winner. Mistress Nelly comes next. Then comes SPG with Jetstream out wide for Harrison Shaw. Affluence and Mellaby is by the rail. Little Choosy a little bit wider. Kennington Green is towards the inside, and then comes 3 diamond rings and Nicky Mackay. So making their way into the home straight, just over 4 furlongs left to travel. Becky Sharp and Charlie Bennett in the lead still, from Albert Boy in 2nd place. Then in behind is Socky Hall Street, who's in 3rd. The red and white checks on the sleeve being pushed along. Mistress Nelly has come there, travelling very strongly. Also coming into it, Jetstream now, with the white cap and red sleeves improving, as Becky Sharp's got challengers in Mistress Nelly and Jetstream. Sauchiehall Street in behind. Albert Boy can't seem to go on. Affluence is making some headway. Also from the back, SBG a little bit short of room. Melab's trying to get into it as well. And from the back, 3 Diamond Rings widest of all as they race then down towards the final furlong and a half. So it's Mistress Nelly looking for that first win, who's gone for home a long way out, has gone way past Becky Sharp, but Affluence is a major danger now, coming with a strong run. Affluence comes to tackle Mistress Nelly. These two are clear as they race well inside the final furlong. It's Affluence and Owen Walsh going on by a length. Make it 2 now, going clear of Mistress Nelly in second place, and Affluence, an informed horse, staying on and will win quite decisively. Affluence is the winner. Mistress Nelly was second. Becky Sharp did well to stay on for third. Then came SPG, Jetstream, and also Sauchiehall Street.
Affluence wins back-to-back at Leicester. They're off and racing at Killarney. Watchguard sent off favourite. Let's pick up the call with Jerry Hannon.
Giovanni Change and double 16 making the run down the far side, and it's Jazz Toes the leader, being followed by Watchguard, the red and white, and just behind them is Method Madness, and alongside double 16 the grey is Giovanni Change, and next on the inside Forever Magic with alongside Free Nelson. Drummer is followed by Cousin Harry, and then another grey in the race, Rescue Package, and then Be My Hero with at the back of the field Rock on Aiden. Heading towards the bottom bend, coming across to the straight first time, Jazz Toes, Jamie Codshowell about a length and a half in front of Watchguard and Tom Hamilton. On the inside, Method Madness and Richie Deegan, with for fourth place turning in double 16 and Finney Maguire, and then Giovanni Change and Patrick Mullins as they make their way on up the straight. Jazz Toes in the black and white shows the way to Watchguard. Double 16 is on the outside of Method Madness, then Giovanni Change. Free Nelson is on the outside with all the spots, and then comes Forever Magic and Drummer. They're followed by Cousin Harry, Rescue Package, and Rock on Aiden remains at the back of the field under Tyke McGuinness, son of Ado, the trainer. Giovanni Change has improved a number of positions to go on and lead. Has opened up a couple of lengths advantage over Jazz Toes, Watchguard,